Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm making tea bread recipe, Ghana tea bread. Yes, this is one of my favorite bread recipes, the long one. You guys do remember? I really love to eat this one with Hausa kukupa. Yes. Anyway, so today I just decided to show you how it's done. It is actually very simple, one of the simplest bread recipes you can ever think of. So yeah, without wasting much time, let's get straight into the video. So I like this recipe because you can actually mix all your ingredients in one bowl, okay? So that's exactly what I'm doing. But make sure that the yeast doesn't come in contact with the salt when mixing it. That was why I added my salt earlier on, okay, so that it doesn't come in contact with it. And yes, somebody might ask that, why am I using sugar for tea bread? Yes, it helps to proof the yeast. So just a little sugar, not too much, like when you are doing sugar bread you need a lot of sugar, but with this one just a little, just to help to proof the yeast. And also with yeast you need warm water to proof it, okay? So instead of maybe adding your yeast and everything in one bowl, you can also decide to proof your yeast in a bowl later, then you add it to your mixture. Yeah, so maybe you get your warm water, you put your yeast in it, then you add a bit of sugar. Like I said, sugar helps to proof the yeast. So yeah, you can also do it that way, but I'm using an instant yeast, so I just decided to mix everything together. I will still get the same results. So yeah, like I always say, don't worry, I'm going to leave the measurements of everything in my description below. So just follow the process, okay? So yeah, after mixing with my hand, I'm just going ahead to knead it a little bit. Yeah, you all know that bread is all about kneading. And I do not want to use flour. So that's why I'm using oil, so that it doesn't stick. And also I do not want to add extra flour to my dough. Oh, the dough is a bit firm, so I'm only going to just leave it alone for about, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes before I come back to knead it again to make it easy to work with. So while we wait, I'm just going to prepare my pan. And you all know how I prepare my pan. I already have a video on that. You just apply some butter and then the flour. Okay, it's very simple. That way the bread wouldn't stick on the pan. So the dough is ready to be worked with now. Very easy, guys. I'm not going to double rise it, just one. So I'm only going to knead it now, divide it into the number of portions I want, then I'll mold it into the bread shape. So yeah, I want to divide it into 4 equal halves. I'm not going to measure it, I'm just going to eyeball it. But then if you want to be sure, particular with the size, you want it to be equal, then I think you should measure it, okay? Especially if you are selling it, you don't want to cheat anyone. Okay, so yeah, it's time to mold it, guys. If you like, you can make it extremely long. I don't want mine very long because even my baking tray, it's not so big, okay? So yeah, you can make it as long as you want, okay? We all know how the shape is supposed to be like. So yeah, just do it nicely. So I wanted to do it in one pan, but I realized it will rise and then over expand, so the tray can take it, so I had to divide it into two. So yeah, I'm going to just cover it with a cling film. Yeah, when you're covering it with a cling film, guys, I always make this mistake, but this time around I didn't make that mistake, so I want to point it out so that you also don't make that mistake. You have to make sure, since it's going to rise, make sure that the cling film doesn't touch the bread. Okay, give it some space on top there so that when it rises it can find a space to be. I don't know if you get it, because when it starts to rise and there's no space on top for it to rise, it's going to rise sideways, so you're going to end up with a flat bread. Then yeah, so after covering with a cling film, I'm just going to cover it with my napkin and then keep it in a warm area, okay, to rise. So yeah, it's ready to be baked. So depending on where you are, the time for the rising of the dough will differ, okay? So if you're in a warm area, it's going to rise quickly. But if you're in a cold area, it will take some time. So usually I do not like to give time, okay? I do not want to say maybe 1 hour or 2 hours, okay? Just keep it in a warm place. When it doubles in size, then it's ready to be baked, okay? We all know that this tea bread recipe always has that flour on top of it, okay? So before we bake it, I'm just going to sprinkle a bit of flour on it just to get the perfect Ghana tea bread. So my oven is preheated. I'm going to bake this for about 20 minutes, depending on your oven, okay? I baked on 180 degrees Celsius, yeah, for 20 minutes. Doesn't take time at all. Now our tea bread, it's ready. So I'm just going to dust off the flour from it, okay, so that I can enjoy it very well. Wow, guys, it smells so good and it is soft and hot. My God, I can't wait to taste this. Thank you so much for watching, okay? Please try it too. It's nice, it's nice. Try it and let me know the outcome. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.